big welcome to you, my dear Sagittarius. So, since I decided last time to end this channel, I decided that I'm continuing, and I'm gonna continue a little bit different. And so the Sun in Leo, just to give you the updates, Sun in Leo, right? The Sun is ruling Leo. We want to heal, and I'm gonna do things different. So let me see how that feels, right? And then I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna post it. But Sun in Leo brings healing, and the Sun is giving the light to the Moon, which is in your sign. And so in your subconscious you are planting new seeds, and in planting new seeds you are healing yourself. So then we have the Knight of Wands, but we have three parts here in the court cards. We have the one with the Death card above, that's between the 13th and the 22nd of November. This combination I did in the previous reading because the Moon was in Scorpio. So if your birthday is here, you better look into the reading before, right? Then there is the true or the pure Sagittarius, and that's up here the blending, the soul aspect, and below here the Knight of Wands. That's between the 23rd of November to the 11th of December. Is your birthday here? I will do this today. And then we have the third part, that's here with the Queen of Pentacles. Up here is the blending, is Temperance, and here's the Queen of Pentacles. So the soul aspect blends the financial situation here, right? And it's important because we understand that the 14 turns into a 5, and the 10 and the 5 is the 15. Don't get attached to anything that you might achieve here at work. So this is the combination, right? And of course we know that the eagle is connected with the 9th house of learning and believing, and the Queen of Pentacles is connected with the 10th house of career and success. So I'm just going to look at these two stations, right? I'm not going to look at the Moon, and I'm not going to look at the Sun. I'm just going to look at these two stations, and we're going to the left. We're going to the new Moon. Back to the last reading, I'm going to include that still, where we had Cancer, Sun giving Scorpio, Moon the light, and we had Uranus in Gemini, 7 years. It's going to stay there as a station. So the Knight of Wands, feel your actions are more intuitive, and the Queen of Pentacles, true magic comes from inner union. So here you see, right, the last reading, and I see one card that is coming back. And so we begin the reading. Okay, so here comes the eagle. And of course I decided if I have to cut the reading, I will not cut anymore. I will leave the mistakes. So what, be it. I don't want to cut anymore. And I think that's what happened to me. I dread the cutting after, right? So I have so many other ideas that I want to bring out into the world, and the cutting was just taking a lot of time. So here we have the 9, and what's coming here is the 7 of Stones, which is Saturn in Taurus. Now I want to understand, what does Saturn in Taurus tell me? So of course we see Saturn in Taurus. She's ready, she prepared the food, she stored it away, winter can come. Nevertheless, the 7 and the 9 turns into the 16, and that's the Tower. And the Tower is Mars. And Mars is actually that moment where we recognize that certain things must leave. And Mars is now 1 month in Libra. And so you look into that, right, to understand what is coming here. And the 16 turns into the 7, and the 7 is left. So I want to know, what is Saturn bringing? Saturn is bringing the Queen of Inspiration. Now this is the deck I gave for Saturn, right? Each of the 22 major arcana has their own deck. And so I can tell here a wonderful story, and you can see that the Queen of Wands is literally closing her eyes, and she's inspired by what she has done here. She feels Saturn, that she's ready, she took action, she has enough what she needs, right, for survival. And so the 7 and the 1 is the 8. Infinite is the preparation for us to know that we are surviving, and it's our ancestors that showed us that, right? And so making food and store it away and pickle it and put it in salt or put it in sugar, right? That's what we used to do so that we were able to survive in winter. There was no store where we could infinitely buy stuff, right? It's like, this is important. And so here comes Saturn, that brings you the Queen. So the Knight is getting a push to become a queen. And it's almost like she's closing her eyes and she's becoming the eagle. She is sending the eagle out. Where are the best food storages, or where is the food? That's what the eagle does. He sees from above, from a higher consciousness, right? And so the 9 and the 1, it's a 10. And that 10 is like saying, well, you understand now that this is important. This is that the 10 and the 7 is the 17, and that's Aquarius. It's important that you are in this new age, go high up into the higher consciousness and see the things that you need for survival. Now, I want to see what is Taurus bringing, and here comes Aquarius. So what's beautiful, you have here a 17 and a 17. A 17-17 or an 8-8 when we unite the numbers, right? And Aquarius is here. Aquarius is saying, well, you understand very clearly that something is telling you you can be a star. Here, the Queen of Wands holds the sun behind her, and the sun is a dwarf star. So she is united with the light. She is up in a higher consciousness, and she sees what she needs to be doing to be able to survive. And so this is Saturn in Taurus. Saturn is bringing the Queen of Wands, and Taurus is bringing Aquarius. And so it's really beautiful, right? The 17 plus the 1 is the 18. And the 18 is the moon. In your subconscious, you can see everything that's happening here in these cards, right? And so then you have a 9-9 portal here with you, and the 7 stays, right? Or the 9, of course, with the 7, we get the 16 and the 7 is left. So it's a really beautiful message that you're getting here, and you understand what's talking. So of course now I want to see what is Aquarius saying, and I'm just going to put this down. And Aquarius is bringing you the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords is Saturn in Libra. Now, what's really interesting is that we learn that Saturn in Taurus is preparing, but Saturn in Libra is heartache. And so it's really interesting. It's almost like the 7 and the 3 here is a 10. A new cycle begins. It's almost like you have moved out, you have left, and you are now putting all your things in your own home. It's like you're ready, right? The 7 and the 3, it's almost like, yes, you leave that heartache behind you. And it's almost like you understand that the Knight is still searching for answers, but the Queen, she closes her eyes and she sees the answers. And so it's almost like she's inspiring you to close your eyes and to arrive. Now the 17 plus the 3 is the 20. The 20 and the 1 is the 21. That's Saturn. Saturn in Libra and Saturn in Taurus. Look at that, right? So Saturn is here. And Saturn, or the world, is going through this. The world is like, really, things are difficult, right? for a lot of people. But if you go deep within, you are like, that's where my power lies. Now, what is Saturn in Libra? What is Libra saying? Because Saturn has brought here the Queen of Wands. So the 3 and the 1 is a 4. Become stable in the way you see things deep within you, through the heart, right? The 4 is the heart chakra. And see that the 4 and the 17 is the 21. Letting you know you can heal. You can move on from whatever happened here. You are moving on, right? And that moving on is important. And so here we get the 21 plus the 7, it's the 28, it's the 10. The 10 is saying, yes, you are moving on to a new cycle, a new important cycle. Okay, now the Queen of Pentacles. She is getting the Queen of Swords. Here's Libra, the Queen of Swords. So here the 10 and the 7, it's the 17. So there's also 17, right? There's also a star story happening here, and then the 8 is left. So these two queens are quite different, but what's uniting them, both of them are cardinal, right? So the Queen of Swords has that strength and the truth and the clarity. Meanwhile, you are this incredible giving personality. She's holding the sword, you holding the coin, right? And so this is masculine and this is a feminine energy. Now, of course, I want to know what is the Queen of Swords saying, and this is the 3 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups is Mercury in Cancer. And so there's a celebration, right? There is a moment where when these two women come together, there is then a union happening, the 3 happening. And it's interesting because the 10 and the 7 is the 17. The 17 plus the 3, that's the 20, and the 20 is Pluto. And Pluto is in Aquarius for 20 years. So for 20 years, you either, you know, feel not so good, or you celebrate. You celebrate something special. You celebrate that here maybe you know each other for 3 years, or that you are going to be another 20 years together and have fun. But see what is like bringing you the feeling of the card, right? And so of course I want to see what is Mercury in Cancer bringing here, and I'm just going to put her down. So, and also her, right? So Mercury in Cancer is bringing, through Mercury, I have the smoky mirror, and the smoky mirror is the number 47. The 47 plus the 3 is the 50. And the 5 is that human understanding that we have to learn to look deeper, beyond appearances. Go and look deep within. It's almost like this, right? It's like here, she looks deep within, and that's why she understands that she needs to move on. So here, the 50, the 5, and the 0 is the Fool, the 5 is the Hierophant. And in the Hierophant, in Taurus, we know that certain things are given, are like, that's it, right? We cannot change that. So what is Cancer bringing? Cancer is bringing you the 4 of Cups. So there's 4 cups and 3 cups framing here the smoky mirror. So the 3 and the 4 is the 7. That's the emotional intelligence that the Queen of Swords is bringing to the table, right? That 7, that emotional intelligence that we have in the crown chakra. And there is a 7 in here as well. And there is a 4 in here as well. And there is the 4, right? So here, the 7 and the 4, right? So the 7 and the 4, that's the 11. So there's an 11-11 portal, and letting you know that's where this portal is bringing us forward to the next level, is bringing us out there, is bringing us into a richness, because 7 cups, though, is the illusion, but through the smoky mirror, we're looking at what's really important, what really matters, right? We're looking beyond illusion. And so we have the masculine and we have the feminine, and the 7 then is the uniting force of it all. Now, of course, I want to see what is the moon bringing. And the moon is bringing the perfect storm. Right here we have Mercury in Cancer. And here the perfect storm is coming. And it's almost like the 44 is looking at this 4. And we know here is 3 times the 4. And 4, 4, 4, right? And then here the 47. So we could have 4 times the 4, the 7 and the 3 is the 10. The 10 with the Queen of Pentacles is a 10-10 portal. There is an 11 as well. And we also have the Queen, the 7 here, with the 7 that's in here. So you see, the numbers are now really interesting, and this is what I want. I want to go deeper into each card, right? And so I see that the boredom is that this card represents, right? The 4 of Cups. The boredom is that you need to have the courage to step into life and see that this perfect storm changes this, the 4 of Cups. And you see that here comes a reminder that the moon is saying, well, the moon in your sign is saying, have a look at what is talking here. Have a look at how important the 44, the portal of the 44 plus this 4, the 3 times 4, the self-empowerment through the heart is bringing you. And it's like, it's so beautiful, right? And so the 11 and the 3, it's like there we have then also the 17. The 17 and the 3 is the 20. The 20 is Pluto, Pluto in Aquarius. I mean, it's like I can just go in so many directions, but all I see is that you are challenged right here with the Queen of Swords to become more cunning in the way you speak, in the way you're not cutting people's head off, right? The 17 turns into an 8. Then the 8 and the 3 is the 11. And the 11 is literally saying, well, here is the portal, right? And then here we have another 11. Then it's an 11-11 portal. And then we have here the 4-4-4. So we have an 11-11 portal and a 4-4-4 portal that is letting you know you are getting the signs that are important to get, that you have now help through a Libra, and the Libra is saying, well, let's celebrate, let's have fun, but in that fun we also need to awaken here the smoky mirror. We need to awaken that when we celebrate, sometimes we get into stagnation, and then a perfect storm is coming to open that. And so it's really interesting, right? So the readings like this become different, and I like it because it's kind of like more the details of what the card means, right? And so I think I'm going to post this video for you guys. So of course I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Virgo, and of course Virgo is here inside, right? The 7 walks into the 8. The 8 of Pentacles is mastery, is the sun in Virgo, and so this is a really interesting sign for the Knight of Wands. But for the Queen of Pentacles, she just needs to understand her emotions, right? Her 7 cups that are here, and the 7 with the Queen of Swords. 2 times the 7, and the 7 here in the smoky mirror, right? And 3 times the 4. I mean, it's like we see the signs, we understand when we feel what I say is arriving somewhere in your system, and as such you can incorporate that into your life and help you heal what needs to be healed. And as such, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.